all day climbing. I left Claire at about 10:30. It's about 4:30 now, and it's been up. I know I said it before, but there's a lot of up on this PCT all day. But you notice that my energy level is better than it was. Of course, I'm buoyed by the joy of reaching the top of this mountain that I've been shooting for all day, going over littler ones to get to the next one and the next one and the next one and up. But one of the reasons that I'm feeling a little more confident is at someone else's expense. Unfortunately, I was coming up one of the later pitches. It was really steep, and I was bent right over like this, looking, just a couple of feet in front of me, and I see out of the corner of my eye on the grass a backpack. Oh, and here he comes. So you know what, maybe I can't tell you the story right now. I will get back to you. Okay, so it turned out that wasn't the guy I was going to tell you about. It was a different guy, and he knew where the water was, so we headed off together to find it. Had some nice, cool, refreshing water, and I've replaced my water from the hotel, which has it had warmed up to a fairly warm temperature, like the kind of temperature you'd wash your hands with instead of have a drink with. So I was very grateful to replace that. No, the guy I wanted to tell you about is way back on the trail. He must still, that's why I was so surprised that he would be coming up to the top. So a good half hour before the top, I had my head down, I'm slogging along, and at the corner of my eye, I see a backpack on the side of the trail. I go, oh! And then I lift my head, and there's a person sitting by the backpack. And so we greet one another, and it turns out that it's his very first day on the trail. He left from Agua Dulce. He was kind of disoriented, very foggy in the way he was speaking. He said he was just napping and his stomach is bothering him. So I asked him what he had eaten today. He said, well, he didn't have any breakfast because he didn't want to be too full climbing the mountain. You didn't have any breakfast. Doesn't he know it's the most important thing of the day? And but anyway, yeah, as much as I don't feel like eating when I wake up in the dark on the trail in my tent, and even at the hotel these last couple of days, I don't want to have a big breakfast first thing in the morning, but you need it. You need those calories out here. Like your body just burns them up like you wouldn't believe. And so he didn't have any breakfast. And I said, well, what have you had to eat on the trail? Well, I had some nuts in my pocket, and I've been kind of nibbling on that. I thought that would be good for energy. And, I probably have too much stuff. My pack is really heavy. Yes, his pack was huge. And I said, how about water? Have you been drinking? Well, I'm trying to conserve water. I said, why are you trying to conserve it? Well, I don't know where the next water is. How do you not know where the next water is? We're in the flippin' desert. Well, not anymore. Look at this. Look at this. It's gorgeous. Green. Finally. It's still kind of dry. It's so funny how you come over one mountain, down the other side, and it's like you're in a different climate zone. So this is crazy. And so anyway, he's trying to conserve water. And I said, well, you don't need to conserve. There's another water source in 4 miles. Oh, there is? Yeah. Haven't you got the app? Oh, I have this other one. I said, well, that probably talks about water sources too. But I said, yeah, drink up. So he's carrying 3 liters. He had only consumed half a liter, and he'd been out for about 7 or 8 hours already. And no wonder he fell asleep. Hungry, low blood sugar, low salt, low fluids. And so anyway, he's getting some food out of his pack and drinking more water, and told him where the water source is and wished him well and got on my way. But what it taught me is, holy cow, I've come a long way, baby. Because that was me that first day way back. Remember the video where I said, it's a lot harder than you think? That day, that was my first really hot, long, well, they're all long, but hot and elevation day. And I was drinking, I was eating, but I wasn't drinking. I know I wasn't drinking enough, and I probably wasn't putting my electrolytes in my water, because once the heat gets to you, you don't have good decision-making power. You start to have brain fog, and everything just slows right down. And that was the day that I had to crawl under a bush and have a snooze for a while. Now today I was really hot and tired, but I was only able to find shade twice between the hours of 9:30 and 4 p.m. And I took those two opportunities and sat in the shade, and even though, you know, you don't feel really hungry, I had something to eat. My pepperoni and cheese wraps. And I still have a couple things left to munch on, but I should be okay because I've only got a couple miles to go downhill. But anyway, I have to say, I'm feeling pretty good. Unfortunately, at that guy's expense, that I made it up that climb all day without napping or feeling really poorly or dangerously poorly at all. Oh, and the other guy that came up, he's only 20 years old. And I said, where did you come from? How did I not see you behind me? Because I kept looking at the view, you know, and looking at the path across down from one mountain to the other, and didn't see anybody. He said, oh, I had to sleep. I left at 7 a.m. this morning. By 10, I was just bagged from the heat. And he said, I slept for a few hours and just came up. So that's the second person who the mountain sort of got the better of, or the heat and the mountain got the better of today. Anyway, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling like I've come a long way, which is great. And, you know, I was thinking about some women who have had to escape violent homes, how they have told me, boy, I've come a long way. You didn't know me when. You know, it changes you. Just like the challenges that I'm faced with out here, they are changing me. They're changing me so that I can handle the challenges better without losing it emotionally and without compromising myself physically. And that's what shelters do for women and children who go, and the odd man actually, but mostly women and children who go to the shelters. That's what the counseling, good nutrition, education, training, love and tenderness for their children and themselves while they're there, all of those things revitalize these women and build their confidence so that they can be changed and go out and become their best selves and be able to handle new challenges. And they always say the same thing, that there's no challenge that will be as great as being abused by your partner. So give that some thought, and if it moves you to donate, please don't hesitate to do so. Because, come on guys, it costs millions to keep shelters open every year. They got to pay the water bill, the electricity bill, the taxes. And just think, when women and kids come in the house with nothing, like nothing. They need toothpaste, they need pajamas, they need something to wear in the morning, clean underwear. They need breakfast when they get up in the morning, and lunch and dinner. And maybe that child needs some school supplies because they had to escape the house with no knapsack or anything. These shelters cost a lot to run. I know ours in Collingwood costs over $400,000 a year to run. Now, yeah, there are some grants, but no way do they cover the costs. So if you have the ability to donate and you haven't yet, and you're enjoying watching these videos, and maybe you know what, one word that I'm seeing in a lot of the comments is inspirational or inspire. Oh, Linda, you're inspiring me.